in the years, our grandparents had children and they raised the older ones to take care of the younger ones. This made taking care of kids easier for them. Our grandparents, who were the female ones, didn't go to work per se. They went more to the farm and they carried their children along to the farm. You would see a grandmother with their child in the farm and they have put the child in the farm while they work. In today's world, it's more sophisticated. People go to the offices and they work, so they can't carry those babies to work because it's going to disturb. It's not like they used to go to the farm and do some work. Where are we driving at? We are still on nannies. Because of all of these complications of where do we keep our children, some are not comfortable taking young babies to daycares. They now bring in people to take care of their children. It's either a live-in nanny or the one who comes and goes every day. Last time we talked about nannies and we had a lot of feedback. Thank you for those who watched and thank you for the feedbacks you brought. This week we went about talking to some nannies. We wanted to hear what they were not saying when they used to be nannies. Most of them are out now. Some are married, some are bigger now. We wanted to know, we want to get into their shoes to understand how it feels to wear the shoes of a nanny. And this is what some of them said. Some of them said that as nannies, when they went to those homes, some were very happy because they liked children. They just enjoyed having children. They enjoyed taking care of younger ones and the children were happy living with them. That made their stay in that home easier because their focus was on the children. Others said that it was more difficult than what they expected it to be. The workload was a lot. They found out that they were doing everything in that house. They wake up before everybody and they go to bed after everybody. And they have to take care of the children. They have to do the cleaning, the cooking, everything. They did it alone. They didn't have other people who worked with them in those homes. And it was not about one child or two children. They had more children in such homes. So these nannies found it very difficult and it was a tiring task for them. But they dared not complain that they were getting tired because their so-called masters then or their mistresses will not be happy with them because they are complaining. And the fear of losing their jobs, because that is the only thing they could hang on to, made them just keep going on. Others said some of the things that they experienced was the situation where parents made it very clear that it is the worlds are two different worlds between the nannies and my biological children. So they found it a little difficult to cope in that kind of environment. They struggled. They stayed there because they had to stay, not that they really liked to stay. I went on to find out from some of these nannies, now that you are no longer a nanny, what advice will you give, or what can you say was your experience when you were there, and how did you succeed in these situations? She said, when I got into this home, I knew why I came there and I stayed glued to the reason why I went there. I went there to take care of these children and to take care of the home. No matter what was happening, I knew that I was there for a purpose and just for a time. So she focused on the purpose that took her to that home. That is what helped her to overcome. Some other nannies said they understood that in that home, if there was any leftover food, the nanny was the one to eat that leftover food, not the children of the house, because she has to cook fresh food for the children of the home and she will eat the leftover food. Some other nannies knew that if the child is sick, she has to stay up at night to take care of that child, not the mother of the child, because she was like the second mother of that child. So when the child is really crying at night, she just knew it was her duty. She has to stay up and take care of the child. And she knew that by 4 a.m. she has to still be awake to start taking care of the house and cleaning and taking care of other people in the house. Another nanny said she just knew that there are times in the house where she has to stay at some corner and give this family their family time, because they just want to be just amongst themselves and not with the other nannies or with any other extra person. So when she sees the children navigating towards their parents, or the parents calling the children, especially into their bedroom or on the couch, and they're having family time, she should just understand, and she goes to her room and waits there in case they need her for anything. These are some of the things these nannies have been going through. Listening to this as a father and as a mother who would have a nanny tomorrow, or who already has a nanny, or as a nanny who is listening to us, what are the lessons you're going to draw? One of the nannies said, you must know that your reward will only come from God. Some of these people will never appreciate what you do, no matter how much you work for them. So focus on God and know that only Him can give you a thank you, that you will feel comfortable and happy that somebody appreciated the thing you did. One of the other nannies said, if she was just understood somehow when she also had issues, she would have appreciated it more. And asking further about what are these issues, like sickness, when she's sick, if they could understand that if you're sick, you can rest, like the children in the house who will be sick and they can stay and wait. If she too can have some rest when she's sick until she feels better to start the work again in the house, she would have felt better in that home. But no, if she is sick, she has to struggle to work even in the sickness. But that has made her stronger. Most of them today, they say they are better housewives, they are better boys in their own homes, like men, because of the training they went through. At that time, they thought they were suffering, but it was not actually suffering. They were going through a season, a stage in their lives. Dear parents, if you have ever had a nanny in your home, why don't you use this week to call that nanny and say thank you for the work you did in the lives of my children? Dear nanny, if you've ever worked for somebody, why don't you call that person and say thank you for the opportunity you gave me to discover some aspects about me that I did not know? It's a season of love. It's a month of love. Love your nannies. Call them. Say thank you. Call those that employed you as their nannies and say thank you. And let us make the world a better place. Let us make these nannies comfortable. And nannies, let us also make it comfortable in the homes we live in. Love these children as if they were yours. And do not wait for pay or any thank you from these people directly. Know that God is going to pay you in ways that you least expected. See you some other time on Shantia's Haven. Bye-bye.